Okay, guys, so we're going to talk about something that I always see discussed and I always see debated, and that something is whether women like nice guys. So this is a fascinating one for me because if you were to pull the average woman on the street and if you were to ask her whether she's attracted to nice guys, she's going to say yes every single time. And if you were to grab 5 of your female friends and ask them one bit of dating advice, their bit of dating advice is going to be kind, be nice. Women want a nice guy, so you'll be fine. But yet the reality is you're still single. And the reality is that women aren't sexually attracted to nice guys. So it'd be tempting to drop the video there, leave it, and just say try and be a bad boy because we know that that's what women want. However, for me, the answer has to be more nuanced, and the answer has to be discussed in a little bit more depth. So the most important place for me to start is firstly to differentiate between being a nice guy versus being a good man. Whilst they may sound pretty similar on paper, and as I go through both of those, you probably can't see a huge differentiation. For me, the differentiation is actually huge and needs to be looked at. So what comes to mind when you think of a nice guy? Someone that's pleasant, someone that's inoffensive, someone that's nice to have around, someone that's probably quite emotional, someone that probably pays you a lot of attention. But I think unfortunately also what comes to mind for me is a guy that can't put boundaries in place, a guy that overreacts to certain things because he's not necessarily happy with what he's getting, and a guy that really doesn't have a huge amount of personality or a huge amount to him. And this again is important because something that we know massively to be true is that women won't be sexually attracted to a man that they don't respect. So whilst a woman may be fine with having a guy like that around, she may see that guy as being pleasant, she's not going to be sexually attracted to him because she doesn't respect him. However, if you flip it and you go to the other side of the coin and you look at a good man, this is where it becomes a little bit more interesting. And this is where you start to see why a woman would crave and lust over a good man. So what comes to mind when you think of a good man? For me, courage, physical and emotional strength, a guy that can set boundaries, a guy that can directly communicate what he wants, a guy with a presence, and a guy that you know could protect you if you needed protection. That would be highly desirable to most women. That would be highly respected to most women. And as a result of that respect and that desirability, that's going to be a man that women are hugely attracted to. So whilst you can look at a nice guy and you can look at a good man and you can say there are similarities, the good man is the nice guy in a manly format. And we know women don't want a boy. We know women definitely want a man. So a nice guy, undesirable. A good man, highly desirable. Next place to go to and next place to discuss. Are you a nice guy or are you suffering and doing your actions out of nice guy syndrome? So it's fine to be a genuine nice guy, and I would actually argue that you need to be kind, you need to treat women with respect, and you should love and you should protect women. For me, that's an important part of being a man. However, a guy with nice guy syndrome, whilst they may be doing that, isn't doing that from an authentic, genuine place. So I'm sure some of you have heard the idea of this current simp epidemic that we're sitting in, and the simp epidemic is massively a real thing. And this epidemic looks like guys that are doing things for the approval of women, showering women with praise because they're desperate to get that praise back, hanging around women for an indefinite period in time, hoping that that woman is suddenly going to crave after them and suddenly want them sexually. These are basically what black pillars refer to as orbiters, and it's orbiters that genuinely suffer with nice guy syndrome the most. So these will also be the guys that feel entitled to a woman because they are putting the effort in. These will then be the guys that when the woman doesn't want them react strongly and then trash women. And this is why I often say guys with nice guy syndrome are potentially dangerous to women, because whilst they may on the surface be seen as the nicest possible guys, they will be the least nice guys because they aren't doing it for a genuine reason. I think it's important to say that most guys have a phase where they go through nice guy syndrome because they learn it when they're growing up. As you grow up in life, you get rewarded for being nice and you get rewarded for not causing offence. So you base your identity around that and you base your attraction to women around that. But what you eventually realise is that that's not enough, and then you become frustrated because that's not enough. And that's when you then become really, really frustrated with women in general. So it's a huge differentiation to make. A genuine nice guy that is a genuine nice guy that can put boundaries in place, can say what he wants, that's fine. A guy suffering with nice guy syndrome, doing things desperate to be wanted, desperate for the approval of women and desperate for the validation of women, repulsive to women. And the reason it's repulsive to women, firstly, is again because she's not respecting him, but secondly because women are very emotionally intelligent and they'll be able to spot a guy doing that a mile off and they will instantly lose attraction for that guy because it's not going to be genuine. The final thing that needs to be discussed as well, guys, we know how many options women have, right? We know women have an absolute abundance of options everywhere they go. And whilst this is frustrating, for me it really reinforces something else. Yep, you need to be nice. Yep, being nice is a foundation, but you have to have something else. You have to have an edge. You have to have something that separates you from all the other men that are going to be interested in her. This is why good looking guys have an advantage. They are good looking. That is an edge. That is enough of an edge. This is why guys that are successful and have money in life are successful with women, because they have something else to offer. They have that edge. This is why guys that are fantastic in bed have something else to offer. A woman's going to keep coming back because that's the edge, that's the value that they can offer. However, the reality is because women have so many options, you can't just be a nice guy and you have to offer something else like what I've discussed. And a lot of guys don't realise that. A lot of guys don't want to put that work in, and a lot of guys become entitled because they think just because they're nice, women should lust after them, and then they get frustrated because they're not getting the results. But they're not getting the results because they are invisible to women. Women don't even see them because they can see plenty of other guys that are interested in them, offering them far more than just a nice guy. So you need to develop an edge, and you need to combine that and find yourself a way of marketing that so that women see it and women then see you as a result. So these are all quite specific nuances, but these are definitely things that when I reflect on my own dating life, I can definitely see become important. I've definitely had a phase where I've just been a nice guy and not a good man. I've definitely had a phase where I've used nice guy syndrome and then become frustrated with women. And I've definitely had a phase where I've been invisible to women because I have no edge, because I have no value and I have nothing else to offer. However, what becomes really important to say is that if you develop all of those characteristics and you develop all the things that I've discussed in this video, you can still be a nice guy and you can still be really attractive to women. You just need to find a way of doing it, and you just need to identify what your edge is, where your nice actions are coming from, and what you can do in order to be respected by women. So, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please can I ask you to click like and subscribe down below. And if you really liked it, I am also offering one-on-one coaching at the website also down below. But as always guys, take care, and I will see you all in the next one.